we'll just wait a minute just to see if Facebook gets anybody on here live. I'm not sure because timing wise it's different. I've got a couple of American followers and in different places. I think it's like 4 or 5 a.m. In some of those states. And UK people it's quite early on a Sunday morning, and New Zealand people it's evening. So I'll give it a minute and see if anyone gets on live, but it's no biggie because there will be a replay as with any of the Facebook lives, and I'll save this video and upload it to YouTube as well. So it'll be on there, the replay, and it'll be in here, the replay. So it's not biggie. Hi Charlotte. So yeah, what I'll do whilst we're waiting for people to get on, if they're going to get on, is I'm going to remove this makeup because I'm not an animal. I didn't want to come with no makeup on straight in the video and scare everybody away. So I'm going to remove this makeup, and then I'm keeping it kind of neutral today. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to reapply this makeup, but this has been on all day, so it's a little bit tired looking now. So we'll take this off, and then whilst we're waiting for people to get on, then I will prime, moisturise, tone and prime. Thanks for the thumbs up. Hi Jessica. So you've been to my workshops in Browns Bay before, Jessica, so you know the drill. I cannot come to you with no makeup on. So I just take it all off. So the reason I've decided to do a live is Gemma and I have been doing makeup workshops in Browns Bay. And they were oversubscribed at first, and we couldn't fit everybody in, and then we had to sort of rush them and do one after another, and we were doubling up. And so I figured I can try it this way, and if this is successful, this might be a better way for us both to come. So I've just invited a couple of hundred people because I've got a few thousand friends on Facebook. And currently about nearly 17,000 followers on Instagram. So I think we can open it up if this is successful and works, and we can do it to a bit of a bigger audience. Hi Victoria. Okay, so I think we'll pull it off. So what I normally use to remove my makeup is cleanser. I'm more of a cleanser girl, but the makeup remover wipes when needs must. So this is what I look like. Hence why I didn't want to come to you without anything on straight away and scare everyone off. It's just a bit of rose water for toning, and then for a base before I put my makeup on every day. Yes, I'll be doing eye makeup, Jessica. I put on a moisturiser with a couple of drops of serum. So today, Jessica, I was just going to go for quite a neutral eye with a bit of shimmer. I'll be using a palette, a different palette than I used last time in the makeup workshop. But what we can do next time is perhaps even do requests. I wanted to try, I've not done the makeup workshop live before, so I wanted to try. But if there's anything specific you wanted to see with eyes, if you comment, then I can do that next time and make sure that's covered for you. Okay. So that is my base, just serum mixed in with moisturiser because I don't want to put the serum on separate and be too greasy. So I'm going to prime And this is a clear silicone based primer. This is Glorious Face and Eye Primer. All the products that I use are unique, obviously. But you can, all these tips and tricks and all these methods can be used with any of your makeup. Yeah, I'm not going to I'm not going to lose the accent, Charlotte. Well, what I'll do, Jessica, I'll do the eye makeup that I was doing for a more neutral, because I sort of want to start at the basics for my first live. I'll do the more neutral eye makeup and then I will smoke it out for you. Is that okay by you? If you comment, I'll smoke it out. It'll have to, it'll be from the same palette, and I'll show you how to sort of take it from day to night, and what brushes to use. So I'll do that, Jessica, for you. If you're still interested in watching by then. Usually I would leave my primer to set for 10 minutes because that's going to create a barrier between your face and your makeup. You're welcome, Jessica. Hi, Melanie. That's going to create a barrier between your makeup and your face. But just in the interest of time, I'm going to continue today. So I want to mix my BB cream because I'm feeling pasty, which I haven't got. I've got everything else out. I want to mix my BB cream with a little bit of body bronzer, just to give a little bit of extra shimmer. Shake that up. Mix them. So I'm feeling quite dry, even though I've just moisturised. I've got quite dry skin because the weather's really changeable at the minute in New Zealand. So depending on your skin and depending on what coverage you want, you might go for Touch Liquid Mineral Foundation. Is amazing coverage, but it dries to a powder finish and I'm feeling a little dry for that. I like this because it's more of a dewy finish. And there's that little shimmer in too. So it's like, I've got wipes for my hands down here, it's like speed makeup on Facebook Live because they hate leaving dead air. So literally, I don't do anything special with BB creams and any of that sort of moisturising base. I just pop that on with my fingers. If I'm doing something like a liquid foundation, especially with this liquid foundation that dries to a powder, then I use a brush with that, and I like to use a bristly foundation brush, something like this. So you can use a liquid foundation brush, a synthetic one, or a hair one. If you use a hair one, you will get a little bit of fallout from the liquid, but it's just what I prefer to use with the liquid because I feel like it gives me a more Photoshop finish. So that's just my preference with that. I'm going to pop some concealer, and I like to go in with it on top of my face makeup because I like to use it like a highlighter as well. So what I do, I use a damp blending board, and I've forgotten to wet my blending board, but it's no bigger. We can use, if you've got rose water or a setting spray, you can squirt your blending board with that as well, or just use tap water if you're near a tap. The reason we use it damp is basically, you could use your fingers as well, that's, your fingers are good enough, but the reason we use it damp is to stop it soaking in all the makeup because it's absorbent with being a sponge. And if you're going to pick it up, you're going to just take all your eye makeup back off. Okay, so I like the blending board because it just glides like butter. And if you see me looking over here, I've got a mirror as well because the iPad's not the best for putting makeup on. So what I'm going to do next, I've got something in my eye. What I'm going to do next is I'm going to use a bronzer to contour. So my bronzer is Beachfront Bronzer, and I use the colour Malibu. And the reason I like this bronzer is I also like Bare Minerals Warmth and Warm Radiance. I find it difficult because they're loose to sort of deal with all the time. And the amount that then I get on my brush, and the fact that they're separate. So this is just great for me because it's sort of both in. So you can highlight with one side and contour with the other. So what I do with the dark side of this bronzer, it's more of a matte finish, the dark side as well. And this brush is the cheapest brush ever, and it's really crappy and loses loads of hair. But it's just the right shape for doing this, so I keep it. And literally, I just pop that darker side. You sort of don't want to come too low because then you're creating a beard. But you want to keep it underneath this cheekbone so you've got somewhere to highlight and it's going to suck in. So then I literally just blow that off and blend that in, making sure that I'm blending upwards. If you blend down, you're going to give yourself like a 5 o'clock shadow. Just to stop it looking so stripy. The lighting's not quite as good on this side, but just to stop it looking so stripy, but keeping the shape of that contour there. If you want, I mean, you can go to town with contouring. You can follow your hairline around here. And you sort of want to do this E and 3 shape. You want to come in and chisel out this jaw. Blending down the neck. And not up, to just not create that bearded effect again. You can even chisel out your neck and create a little bit, hi Jackie, you can create a little bit of a sunken in effect down here. And one of my new favourite tricks, like I say, I don't know why I keep this brush, it's just the right shape for contouring, is just pop in underneath to give that fuller effect on your lips. I just do a little bit on my nose. My nose is not my best friend. I don't love it. I don't like to pay too much attention to it. But if we can make it look smaller, then that's all good with me. Okay, so what I want to do now is use, sort of give that a wipe off and just highlight a little bit with the shimmer side. I'm going to go over and highlight at the very end anyway with the palette. But just to attack those general highlighting areas. So everywhere basically we've not been with the darker bronzer, and it just keeps that shimmer and picks it out a little more. Okay, so brows. So what I'm going to use, I'm using palette 2. And I'm going for the colour Cocky. It looks black there, but it is dark brown. And this is what I'm going to use on my eyes as well later, and also to highlight. So I'm using this for nearly everything else now. Okay. So I need my mirror for this. So if I'm going to look the other way, I apologise. I literally use a liner shader brush. You can use, Jessica, sorry, when I took my makeup off, Jessica, I put my base on and I used BB cream mixed with body bronzer. But there will be the replay after this. And so you can go back and watch the beginning. But no, I put BB cream mixed with body bronzer. I haven't used a foundation, a powder based. or even the liquid foundation that dries to a powder, because I'm feeling a little bit dry skinned, and that will just pick up on my dry areas if I use something that dries to a powder. So I used BB cream mixed with body bronzer. So these two, BB cream in Bisque and body bronzer in Sunset, just to warm it up a little bit, because this is a little pale for me at the minute. And that's what I used as my base before I went in with the bronzer. It's a little bit more moisturising. So what I'm going to do then for my eyebrows is using palette 2. I am using a liner shader brush, and I am literally, I'm going to look in this mirror here, I am literally going to trace the bottom line of my eyebrow. Can you see that? I'll pick up a little bit more colour and I trace the top line. And I meet at a point over here. And then I just take what is left on my brush, I don't add any more at this point, and I start working towards the front, blending it all in. When I get to this point, what I do is I blend that line upwards and the top line downwards. And then just make sure I'm looking in 2 devices, make sure you don't draw all over your forehead. It's really forgiving and amazingly blendable, so that's one thing in its favour. And so yeah, it's just, I guess it's just not to be scared about don't be scared about drawing on your eyebrows. Because you can always, especially if you use a powder, you can always go over with your brush and blend it out if you feel like it's too much at the end. But just trace the natural line of your eyebrow. Again, just following that bottom line. Following the top line, meeting over here. And then blending them together. And it's just a repeat of that same procedure. If you need to pick up more, pick up more. If you prefer to use liner, it's the same thing. You trace the bottom and the top line. I tend to never really draw, especially if I'm using liner. Powder's more forgiving, so you can sort of come in here if you wanted to draw at the end. But if you're using liner, I never draw like a line around my eyebrow at this point. What I would do is trace the bottom, trace the top, and then brush up with the spoolie, brush down with the spoolie to blend those lines in. And then I would pick out, I'd use a super thin eyebrow pencil. I will almost draw individual hair strokes if I was using that. But I'll use liner another time, and then I can demo that too. So that's the powder, and then what I like to do just to set it in place is use brow gel. Now this, it's like a dry, it's all the glitter from taking my makeup off. It's like a dry gel powder. This is medium, so it's not too dark. It's got little fibres in it, so it fills those gaps and it just clings to your hairs. But it just sets it then for the day so that your powder's not going to come off. So that's my brows. So super quick, super simple, what I want to do is, I feel like I've missed a little blush step off, so I'm just using the pressed blush in Sweet. It's all mineral based. It's so pigmented that I literally just need a bit, and half the time I like to go back in with the brush that I've used for my bronzer and just almost take it off. But what it does do is it can soften that contour for you so that it's not just a dark stripe, if you know what I mean. So, eyes. So what I want to do is I just want to go over with a little bit of pressed powder. I just need the right brush. So I'm using like a concealer brush, just for a big brush, and I'm just going to go over and just set a base. I've already primed. This will help to highlight under my brow. It will help make a base for me to blend my eyeshadows out. My mirror's not got the best light now. And it's just going to create a nice surface to work on and for the eyeshadows to grab to. It evens out that skin tone as well, so that's just preparing a base for you to put your eye makeup on. So what I'm going to do, as I've had a request, is I'm going to do the eye makeup that I started the video with before I took it off, and then I'll finish the makeup and then I will go back in because Jessica asked for a smoky eye look, and I will smoke that out at the end. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go in, I'm using palette 2 again, the same as what I did for my brows, and I'm going to go in with the colour Honourable. So I'm going to go in my crease because my eyes are slightly hooded. It doesn't pick up actually my hooded eyes on the video as much. Because they're slightly hooded, I go slightly above my crease line. I've got something in my eye, which is a pain when you're on live. Yeah, I go slightly above my crease. I sort of rest my finger here and go in a windscreen wiper motion first, and then once I've created the shape that I'm going to use, then I go in a circular motion just to blend it out a little bit. So I'm resting that there, and then I'm just going to windscreen wiper it. Pick up a little bit more. So I'm going over to about where the inner bit of my iris is, stopping about here. It's a really nice matte crease colour. It's like taupe in colour and it's really blendable. I'm going to bring that down so this corner is meeting. So like I said, windscreen wiper motions over, and then I'm going to go back in and do small circles where I've done the windscreen wiper motions just to blend it. So it doesn't look like just a line. And I'm going to do exactly the same on the other eye. So I'm just going to go slightly above my crease. Windscreen wiper motion, you see it better on this eye. Pick up a bit more. And doing it like a windscreen wiper and bringing it down. So I'm doing that crease, and I'm also sort of going in the outer V area as well. And then I go in with the circle shapes and just blend that out so it doesn't look so much like a line. And what that's going to do is just going to give me some definition to my crease. So what I'm going to do now is go in with the colour Cocky. That's this colour. And I'm just going to go in my outer V with that. So I'm using a crease brush. So it's a pointy brush. That's what I've used to go in my crease with. It's like a pointy brush. You've just got a little bit more control of where you put in the makeup. So what I do is I make like a dot. A little, you can hardly see it on this side. And then I go into my crease, but not as far. And then back down. So the same motion, but smaller movement. And I'm just staying on the outer V, and that's going to create a little bit more depth. Same on this side. I'll start with a dot, and then I just blend it in. Not as far. And then bring that down. So that is deepening that crease colour. They all blend amazingly, so you needn't worry. And if you ever feel like you've messed up, you can just take a bigger brush, come along and blend it out again even more. I haven't got, I'll just use that bronzer brush. You can just come back in and blend it all out and start again if you need to. There's not really much damage you can do, even if you're using incredibly dark colours. It doesn't quite look even on this video, but in my mirror it looks great, so I'll go with that. Pardon me. And so I'm going to use my deluxe brush, but I'm going to dampen it. It's just a shader brush. I'm going to pop that bit of rose water on it, because I'm going to use Blissful now. Blissful's like a gold. I don't know if I turn it to the light, if it's better. Blissful's like a gold shimmer. So my trick for the shimmer pigments is to use a damp brush. I squirt my brush with rose water and then I pack it on. So I'm just patting. You can see I've hardly touched it. You can see how pigmented that is. But I pat this on because it stops you getting the major fallout that you get all over your cheeks. So it's going to keep that on where it should be, because it's one of my biggest bugbears is getting the shimmer pigment all over your cheek and under your eyes later on in the day. So we use this brush wet, and then after I'll show you what I do to set it afterwards as well. So patting it on, because patting it on as well is going to stop it flying everywhere. I love to wear shimmer pigments on my lid because it makes your mascara and your eyelashes stand out as well. I love it, but I hate that fallout. So what I do after that, so I've used my damp brush and patted it on. I like to squirt that in the lid. I like to dampen the tip of the brush and pop it in my inner corner as well. And what that is going to do, it's going to open your eye up in the centre, and it's going to make you look more awake. Which, it's late at night here, so I could do with looking more awake. So that's that. And then what I do to set my eye makeup so that I don't get any fallout down here is you can give it a little bit of a sweep to make sure you've got no fallout, and then literally set it with setting spray. I use rose water, whatever, and that'll stop that fallout as well. So we've set it on the brush, we've set it afterwards, so you should, I mean, I do everything I can to stop that fallout because I hate it later on in the day if it gets all over here, but that should stay now and not budge. And they're my best tips for your glitter pigments not sort of falling out. Okay, so what we'll do next is we'll pop the mascara on, and I will come back as my request in the comments earlier to smoke my eye out and doing like an evening eye, and I will do that at the end. So I'm going to do the 3D fibre lashes. This mascara can be used just as the mascara gel. So like a normal mascara, or it's like a false lash system if you want to use the fibres as well. I'm going to look between my mirror and the camera because my eyesight's not fantastic in an iPad. I'm glad you like it, Charlotte. So what you do is you coat your eye with the transplanting gel, which is just like mascara, and then you've got these fuzzy fibres. So I add them because I just look for the length more than the volume, so I add them sort of mid-length to tip. If you want more volume, you would add the fibres root to tip. But I'm looking for length all the time in my lashes, so I add mid-length to tip. And the fibres, they just look like this. The little rail-on fibres that are impregnated with serum. They're like dust, but they make such a difference on your eyes. So I'm going to go ahead and put it on this side, and then you go back and seal in your fibres. You can do as many coats as you want. So as long as you put gel as the first coat and the last coat, you're all good. So gel fibres, gel. So you want to put 2 coats on, you will go gel fibres, gel fibres, gel. All the fibres on your cheeks, you need to seal it with enough gel after, Charlotte. Yeah, absolutely. I don't really have that problem. What you can do is between your gel and your fibres, see what you need to do is make sure you do gel and fibres one eye at least, rather than gel, gel, fibres, fibres. Go gel fibres, that's how I do it. And then if you want to, if you're heavy-handed with the fibres, you can just blow it off before you, it's all on the camera now, blow it off before you put it on your eyes, and then everything's sticking rather than being loose. Or at this stage, before you seal them in, just blow up with your hairdryer, or I mean, I don't really have a problem with loose fibres, but what you want to do is make sure that you absolutely coat them with enough gel after. So just make sure you go in, and I like to do a bit of a zigzag and make sure I've caught every lash, because it's the second coat of gel that's going to seal in those fibres and stop them coming off. So you gotta go with enough gel as your second coat. Make sure you coat every lash. Make sure you seal every fibre. So try that, and if you've done that and sealed them in with the fibres, try the hairdryer trick in between, or giving them a quick blow before you seal them to get any loose ones off, and see how you go with that. And if you're still having problems, message me, Charlotte, and we'll do a video chat and you can show me how you're putting them on. So what I do, I don't like to put the fibres on my bottom lashes. It's never been something that I've loved. I just line my bottom lashes with mascara. So I just go on with the gel and line those. So I'll let that dry whilst I'm doing my lips, and I will come back to finish the eyes for Jessica and smoke them out a little bit. So what I'm going to do is the lip that I had on before when I started this video, which was liner, lipstick and gloss. So what I like to do and how I line is I like to make sure I've got sort of enough liner and it's sharpened, and then I start at the tip and come in with a cross. So I'm going to use my mirror again. And that's just going to give that Cupid's bow some definition. And it's going to make it quite sharp. So I always do this little cross to start with, and then I trace the line of my lip. And I like to pull it taut because it helps me get a sharper line. And then when I'm coming at the bottom, I start here. Can you see where I made that poutier with the contour earlier? I start here. And I draw that line, and then I join up to the corners. Again, I like to keep my lip quite taut as I do it. Hi, Kaylee. And I follow that. The next thing I do is I like to come in at the centre of my lip and colour in just at the sides a little bit. And that's going to give me a slightly poutier look, which we all want Kylie Jenner lips without the surgery. And then I'm going in with a nude lipstick. This is upscale, you can tell I use it loads. Hi. And this is a really nude shimmer. But to finish it how I started this live, I had Lucrative lip gloss on, and this is in Lovable. So there's a little mirror on this. These are amazing glosses because they're not sticky. And this is a pink, and it just softens. It just softens that nude. And it makes it a little bit more of a, you know, the lip kits from Kylie, it makes it more of a pausey colour. If anybody follows Kylie Jenner and her cosmetics, I follow everybody in beauty. I follow about 4,000 people on Instagram, and they're all beauty bloggers because I'm obsessed. But it makes it more of that colour, but obviously not a matte finish. Oh my god, we're coming out this month with matte liquid lipsticks. I cannot wait to do a video on them. I can't wait to get my hands on them. I can't even get them yet. I don't think. Some of the products we can get before customers. I've got some dry skin, but I don't think I can get hold of them till you can get hold of them. So I'm so excited to get my hands on them. So what I'm going to do, as promised, for Jessica is I'm going to smoke out, now that my lashes are dry, I'm going to smoke out this eye and show her that more smoky look before I go in and I highlight, and then we are done. So what I'm going to do, because I've used these tones, Jessica, Honourable, a little bit of Cocky in the corner, and Blissful, I'm going to come in with a little bit of Cocky, and then I might deepen that with a little bit of Peppy, which is a matte charcoal black. So I won't line, I'll use the black. I don't like to line on top of a glitter pigment. I just like to keep that more awake look. So to smoke this out, I would just go back in and leave the honourable where it is. Even if I was doing this look, I'd still go in with that honourable first because it makes a really nice transition colour. And then go in with cocky. And I would the same thing with the outer V and the crease. So this is the same motion, the windscreen wiping motion. It's just deepening that and making it a little bit more dramatic. I would take the same colour and I would run that under my lash line. I wouldn't go all the way, I'd still keep the glitter in the centre, but I would run that all the way to about there. I like to use the crease brush for this because it keeps that smoky eye really soft. So that's where I'd go. The difference, you see the difference? And then I'll match up the other eye and then I'll pop Pepe just on the outer V, which is the black. So I'm bringing this in to smoke it out. Same thing, the colour is Cocky from palette 2. Windscreen wiper motion. Bring that down. And go under the lash line to about there. Sort of the same place where you're stopping with your crease. So it's about... Oh, you're welcome. I will, yeah, I will, I'll do more. Yeah, it's about where your colour stops on your eye. And again, the crease brush is just going to give you that soft look. Next time, Jessica, I'll do more a slightly more edgy look, and we'll do it with some liquid liner, or we'll wet pigments and do it with a sharper evening eye. And it's quite good to do the daytime look, turn it into a night look, because everybody needs to be able to be adaptable, I guess, and go from day to night. So yeah, and that's just using the dark brown, Jessica. But if we pop that pepper in the corner as well, and just attack the corner with it, so just in the outer V, that's going to make it even more dramatic. So that's this one, Pepe, black. And we'll just pop it in. Just in the outer V, and it just makes all that difference. Bring it just ever so slightly underneath. I quite like my smoky eye to be really blended and not quite as stark. But yeah, so I hope that helped, Jessica. Just turning it into a smoky eye as well. Super simple. The same palette, you get so many uses out of it. It can do so much. What I want to do just before I finish is some highlighting. Now, I usually use a loose pigment. This is the colour Sexy. So this is like a loose mineral. I'll just pop some in the lid and then you can see it. It's really pale, like iridescent. But from the purpose of getting everything you can out of a palette, we've done browns with this palette. We've done a daytime eye. We've just turned it into a smoky eye. And the colour Romantic is perfect. It's a little bit like, well, it is exactly like the silvers from the Anastasia Beverly Hills. I can't remember the name of the palette, but the one with like the lavenders and, you know, the slightly greens and the silvers. So if you pop that These palettes are amazing, and because they're pigments rather than a powder, they're just so blendable. But you can see that highlight there. So I would always just come in, and I always like to highlight last. The lighting on this side's not quite as good. But you can definitely see it on there. And then I would go always under the brow bone. And sort of let that pick up and meet where you're highlighting. And just a tiny bit I like to go over and just define the brows. And you can pop a little bit just above your cupid's bow, and just to give that a little bit of something, a little bit of sparkle. But you can see the difference that makes, and because it's not a powder, it's not dusty, because they're pigments and they're so highly pigmented. You can see the colour there. It's just an amazing highlighter. So I hope you enjoyed the live. You can replay it, so if you miss like the base makeup and the foundation, if you miss the daytime eye before I smoked it out, all that, what I've put on my lips, how I contoured, everything, my brows, it's all on the replay. I will save this video and upload it. I'll also upload it to YouTube, and I promise to keep my YouTube better maintained and more current. So that's there for you to watch the replay. Feel free to pop into this event whenever. And when I do my next live, I'm thinking about doing it monthly, like the makeup workshop. Thanks for the hearts, I'm loving the hearts. Yeah, when I'm thinking about doing this makeup workshop monthly, and when I see Gemma, we'll arrange to do it as we've been doing it, hopefully she wants to do it, as we've been doing it in the community, and we'll just take it all online. It's probably easier for everybody involved. But yeah, I hope you liked it, and I'll see you at the next one. Pop in this event and check the replay out. Alright, bye everybody.